And we are back at Wall Street today. I'm your host, Bob Guiney. Joining me is Chris Brown. Chris, so you are the founder and the president, the CEO of Ivy League Financial Advisors, is that correct?
Yeah.
Obviously with a name like that, there comes a lot of credential. And I know you have that with Tuck School and everything else. I mean, getting involved in an industry like that has got to be so demanding. What is the mission that brought you to do what you do today?
Well, I think that when I founded Ivy League Financial Advisors, I wanted to be a financial lead. We wanted to be a financial leader to serve our clients. And our clients typically are high net worth and ultra high net worth clients. So I use the term financial leader purposely as opposed to financial advisor. Financial advisors inform, but financial leaders transform.
Yeah.
The way we do that is we work as a personal CFO, Chief Financial Officer, to our clients, and then bring to them the best minds in the industry to help address their problems.
Yeah.
Really what we do is we say that we like to breathe life into their possibilities.
I like that.
And challenge them and support them to step into a life of fulfillment, which we define as the clarity that they're going to be okay, the confidence that they can take care of their loved ones, and the satisfaction that comes from knowing that they can really do all the things they've always wanted to do and support the causes that they really care about.
I love that. I love that you also say it's conflict-free. I read that in something that you had said it's conflict-free, and I was wondering when I first saw that, I'm like, I wonder what he means by that. But you just explained it so nicely that it's like, you're basically, it's like they're giving them the confidence, the clarity, satisfaction, and letting them know that everything they want to do, they can do. I mean, that's got to be such a great sense of achievement for you, I would imagine, as a leader for them as well.
Yeah, I feel like we're really, it's a gift that we give our clients. It's obviously something that we have to be paid for.
Right.
So when I set up the business, the term in our industry is fee only. I wanted to make the compensation structure as transparent as possible.
Yeah.
We are only paid by our clients. We don't make commissions. You can't even accept referral fees. So our clients know that we're on the same side of the table with them, being product neutral, and know that we're picking the best products and services we can because we have no hidden agenda.
I love that. Because that is something, I mean, when you're thinking about your financial future and someone tells you, I want to move, this, you're like, oh, are they and I love that you take the guesswork right out of that. That's got to build a lot of confidence right out of the gates.
Yeah, I think it does. And, really the history of the financial services industry really is, quite frankly, it's not a proud one. Yeah. It's one of that's sales driven. And I think one of the greatest misconceptions is that, people with means either have their financial affairs in order or they're being served well by financial advisors.
Right.
And we know this because I'm a part of a mastermind group that did a survey about a year ago and asked over 500 wealthy individuals, do you want services in investment management, wealth protection, wealth enhancement, charitable giving, and tax mitigation? And they said, yeah, at a rate of about 90%.
Yeah.
Then the survey went and asked their advisors, are you providing all this? And the advisor said, yeah, and the rate was for wealth, for investment consulting was the highest at over 9%, but the other ones, they kind of averaged about 80%.
Right.
Then they went back to the clients and said, is your advisor doing this? And except for investment consulting, the percentage across the board was less than 20%.
Wow.
So there's this gap between what clients need and want and what advisors are providing them.
Sure.
And it's a huge gap.
That's a great survey. That data is actually pretty interesting because part of me is like, man, do these financial advisors think they're providing that, and that the clients are just, or do they know they're not, and they know what the right answer should be?
I think for most financial advisors, really, they think that their only mission is to basically manage money.
Yeah.
And they don't do the advanced planning, which is estate planning, the retirement planning, looking to make sure they have the right kinds of insurance products.
Yep.
Reducing their taxes and working with them to see if they want to, be charitably inclined.
Sure.
So that's all part of their job, but they just don't do it.
They don't do it.
It doesn't make them money, and they don't want to do it.
Right.
So.
And that's probably because they are fee-based, or not fee-based, commission-based.
Commission-based.
And instead of fee-based, so it's not part of their total package.
Right.
Yeah. No, that's really fascinating. I like that. Well, it's clear you've built such a great business model. I mean, I can only imagine how you've affected so many of your clients. Could you give us an example of someone who came to you? I know you mentioned there's small businesses involved there. I'm sure there's so many different clienteles and different types of clients, but someone that had come to you and sought your advice on what a turnaround story looks like?
Yeah, I think one of my favorite clients was a retired physician. He had actually been the chief medical officer on a submarine.
Oh, wow.
And so then he had worked at hospitals, and he retired. And unfortunately, he was going blind. Okay. So we worked with him, for instance, to get him out of his 4-bedroom house into an adult living center. Found the realtor, hired the organizer to basically organize his stuff, pack it up, move it into storage. Got him in. I was there when he signed the closing documents to make sure that he understood what he was signing because his vision wasn't great.
Sure.
Would visit him, had lunch with him at least once a month because such a great individual, and he would tell great stories.
Yeah.
Um, Unfortunately, he passed away, and he only had one daughter, and his daughter worked for the State Department. She was all over the world,
Right.
and so went with her to his funeral at Arlington National, which was quite moving.
Yeah.
And then now we're working with his daughter. His daughter's in her late 40s, single parent, and had adopted a child when she was working in station Morocco.
Wow.
Now she's back in the U.S., and we're making sure that, if she stops working today, what does that mean in terms of, does she have enough to live on? And what does it mean in terms of her lifestyle?
Sure.
If she's good, she's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
But it's just the pleasure of working with him and then working with his daughter has been very, very fulfilling.
I love that message. I love that, it's almost like you're an extension of the family. You're part of the family. You knew her father well. You were intimately involved in their family's finances, obviously, but being there at the funeral, being there with lunch with them, going through, you think about that kind of stuff. And my mom's older, and I think about it all the time. Like, gosh, I hope I can be there for everything she needs me for.
Yeah.
My sister can be there. But it's like, at the end of the day, you got to hope you have that one person you can trust that also knows how to help navigate a lot of those situations.
Yeah, I think one of the realities of our world today is that we're all overwhelmed with everything, right?
Yeah.
And so if someone can concentrate on their strengths, because he's always been taught, like, your strengths are your strengths, but like, go shore up your weaknesses.
Right, right.
If you can concentrate on your strengths and then hire trusted advisors, in essence, outsource what your weaknesses are, then you can do what you do best. They can do what they do best.
Right.
Everybody's better off for it.
Oh, that's so true. Yeah, that's beautiful. I love that. And there again, it comes back to play. There's no hidden motivations for you with the way you do your business because you've already got that established up front. So being an advisor in a couple different capacities is something that I'm sure you relish that opportunity to do it for your extended
I
family.
mean, I really kind of learned that from my dad. I'm one generation removed from 250 years of dairy farmers.
Oh, wow.
And my dad, when he got out of this army in 1958, wanted to be a farmer.
Yeah.
But his two older brothers were already, working the farm. There wasn't space for him. He went to work for the Virginia Department of Agriculture for his entire career. Along the way, two of his colleagues died prematurely and left two widows. Now, they happened to go to our church. So Dad took it upon himself to be their handyman. So like every Saturday he was out, helping things, and he would drag me along.
Yeah.
And at one point, it took up a lot of time. At one point I asked Dad, I said, why are you really doing this? And he said, son, look, it's pretty simple. They need help, and it's the right thing to do. And I think that's something that I've always, tried to keep in the back of my mind. That's why I set up the business to be fee only. That's why it was my calling to do something to help people in a very personal and intimate way, make an impact on their lives,
Right.
So, Dad was my hero, and hopefully that's something I passed on to my two boys too. So,
Yeah, you're speaking my language. My dad was the same type of guy. Just salt of the earth guy, did the right thing when no one was looking. Like the definition of integrity. I love that. Hope I pass it on to my boys too. You're gonna make me cry. All right, well, that is a type of attitude I would love to have in someone working with my personal finances and my family. So I'm sure so many of our viewers are gonna feel the same way. How do they get a hold of you? How do they find you? What's the best way for someone to reach out to you and ask for your help with their
I
services?
think the best way is, in this day and time, is through our website.
Yeah.
Our firm is Ivy League Financial Advisors. We shorten that. So the website is ivyfa.com.
Okay.
So Ivy as an Ivy League Financial Advisor.
Yeah.
F is in financial, A is in advisor.com. And then our number is, they can reach out and just pick up the phone and call me. Our number is 301-258-1300.
There you go.
That's how you get in touch with me.
Well, I recommend you reach out because this is the type of guy you want to be working with. So thank you so much for being a part of the show with us.
Oh, great.
Thanks for sharing with our viewers.
The center of, heart of the Big Apple.
It's it.
Times Square.
Something else, isn't it? Such an electric energy. Well, congratulations on all your success, and thanks
Thank
again
you.
for joining us.
Okay.
And thank you for joining us here on Wall Street Today. We'll be back with more.